Welcome back, everybody, to another Dicondissectional production hosted by Deathstroke9, and tonight his special guest, Deathstroke8. So, Daniel has lots of supporters of his channel, and one of them right now is going through a very difficult time, and we've had some communication with him, and I don't think it's his real name, obviously, but it is his handle that he uses on the server and posting. Firebird, we just want you to know that this reaction is for you. We know that you've been dealing with a lot in your life right now, and it has affected Daniel and I. We want to just pull up aside next to you and just love on you, brother. And I know that you're going to overcome this. I've seen some of the things that you have done. I know that you're strong enough to overcome this, but there's a season for everything. And we're going to react to a song by the Four Seasons. The Four Seasons, yep. The name of the song is Let's Hang On. So Firebird, please, let's hang on together. Just so you know, we're here for you. I know that it's a long-distance thing, but if there's anything that Daniel or I could do for you,
just let us know, please.
Please reach out to us.
And thank you for sharing your story.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
So this is a happy song. This is good. We're going to listen to the Four Seasons together.
Right. I've never heard this song before.
I've heard this song. This was a request, and this is actually for a specific someone, so let's enjoy this.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right. Let's do it. All right. So let's see. I've got this pulled up here. You got that?
Yep.
All right. Thank you for joining us. I've got the lyrics pulled up over here. But again, like we've been doing, I'm just going to leave it on this page instead of scrolling through the lyrics. All right. The Four Seasons, Let's Hang On, official audio. 3, 2, 1.
There ain't no good in our goodbye.
I really like the last Four Seasons song I listened to.
True love takes a lot of trying. Oh, I'm crying. Let's hang on to what we've got. Don't let go, girl, we got a lot. Got a lot of love between us. Hang on, hang on, hang on to what we got.
What a great voice Frankie Valli has.
Gonna call it quits. Gonna chuck it all and break our love to bits. Breaking up. I wish you never said breaking up. No, we'll both regret it. That little chip of diamond on your hand ain't a fortune, baby, but you know it stands for the love. A love to try and bind us. We just can't leave behind us, baby. Don't you go, baby. Stay in. Let's hang on to what we got. Don't let go, girl. We got a lot. Got a lot of love between us. Hang on, hang on, hang on to what we got.
Oh, sorry. Both tried to pause it at the exact same time and ended up pressing play. All right. Wow. This is perfect, I think.
So, to me, this is the equivalent of what pop music would be, but in the 60s. So this would be on every radio station, like
pretty
Justin Bieber or anything would be on Taylor Swift today.
Can you... I see a difference. But I know... I understand. So it's a 3-minute long song. It's...
Radio friendly.
It's radio friendly, right?
The music isn't too aggressive. It's very upbeat. It's very happy. And Frankie Valli, like, I know this song. My parents grew up on this type of music. This is what was playing on the radio when I was younger.
When I listened to the Frankie Valli song and the Four Seasons song that I did a while ago, the actual dynamics of the song were what really... They really appealed to me, and that's happening again with this song. I know you said, so one big difference between this and I guess what would be current pop music is, so you said happy tone, radio friendly, and it's a 3-minute long song. Nowadays, it seems like for radio hits, you got to also be very simple musically, something that people can groove to, as opposed to having a lot of intricacy. Whereas the music in this, I've heard multiple transitions with multiple different sections.
And I think that's to accentuate his voice. Like this guy, he's
this guy can sing.
He is one of the best frontman of any. It's different type of music than to say, oh, he's the equivalent of Jim Morrison of the Doors, right?
It's a different type of music.
It's a different type of music, but this is the best of the best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Frankie Valli, he was singing not too long ago. You know what I mean? Like he really, he's a great performer.
Is he?
Yeah.
I wonder if there's any live videos of him.
No, there's live stuff of him everywhere.
All right. But yeah, let me bring it back on, and let's keep going. Thank you all for joining us, by the way. Love the bass there. Turn it up.
There isn't anything I wouldn't do. I'd pay any price to getting good with you. Patch it up. Give me a second turning. Don't cool up while I'm burning. You got me crying, dying at your door. Don't shut me out. Let me in once more. Open up. Your arms I need to hold. Open up. Your heart, oh girl, I told you, baby. Baby. Open up. Bring it over and stay. Let's hang on, girl, to what we got, girl. It ain't the world, girl. We got a lot of love between us. Hang on, to what we got.
Really love that drum fill. It's definitely like feel-good music,
It is, and I definitely hear. While I've heard the song, I haven't heard it with headphones. I hear what you're saying about the music. That music is pretty good.
There's intricacies
yes,
in it,
absolutely.
and there's different things going on.
So I'm going to rephrase what I said before. If you were around in the 60s and 70s, that is one of the most distinct lead singers ever.
Sure.
That's the equivalent of knowing, with just hearing one note, that's Frankie Valli. Like you might say with Paul McCartney. Like,
Okay.
and
Really?
This
Wow.
is
All
this
right.
is more like doo-wop type of music.
That's what I thought of. Yeah.
So it is more of an up north. I talk about Americana or Southern. This is more, in my perception, would be a doo-wop band sitting around somewhere in New York City or Philadelphia, sitting around a open garbage can, lit on fire, a 55-gallon drum, just sitting there singing, snapping their fingers, and just making good music together. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
That's an interesting image.
and that's what I picture when I hear some of this stuff.
Let me, let's see. What do we got here? Valley's range is phenomenal.
One of the best. One of the best. His highs are so...
Yes, that's what I was... He had a... What's that called? Falsetto, I guess?
Yeah.
He does very good with... Can't choose a favorite anymore. They're all good. All right, let's take a look at the actual lyrics. There ain't no good in our goodbye. All right, so there's really no point to saying goodbye.
So, and he spoke this. There ain't no good in our goodbye. There was no music.
Yeah, that's true. That's
You
true.
know what I mean? So
it accentuated it, or
absolutely
like added to it
Yep.
that there was no
So
music
he's
at the
saying
beginning.
there ain't no good in our goodbye.
True love takes a lot of trying. I'm crying. Let's hang on to what we got. Don't let go, girl. We've got a lot. We've got a lot of love between us. So this is almost like him pleading with his girl not to leave him. Hang on to what we got.
So she wants to leave him. You say you're going to go and call it quits, going to chuck it all and break our love to bits.
Breaking up. Wish you'd never said it. Breaking up. No, we'll both regret it. That little chip of diamond on your hand ain't a fortune, baby, but you know it stands for your love. A love to try and blind.
So they're going steady. Either he proposed to her. I don't think it was marriage, but maybe it's a fiance.
Oh, really?
Certainly something more than just a regular. Sure. To the next level, because he bought her jewelry, right?
Oh, so you're all right. So here's what I thought when I read that. I thought they've been married for a while, but you're saying that he's proposed to her. They're like his fiance, as you said, and now she's like having second thoughts or saying,
right. I think that it's not as it was on its way to marriage or more serious, but this to me seems like average romantic, romance that you have for 6 or 8 months, and you want it to go further, and she's like, you know what, this just really wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
Sure.
Not that settle down, get married type of, and he's a lot more upbeat, you know what I mean? So if it was somebody breaking, leaving a marriage or something, I think there would be way more despair and sadness. But this is upbeat, right?
That's interesting. That's an interesting. That you're right. I think because of that's All right. Let's continue. We just can't leave such a love. We just can't leave behind us, baby. Don't you go, baby. No, baby. Think it over and stay. There isn't anything I wouldn't do. I'd go to any price to get in good with you. Patch it up. Give me a second turn. Now that makes patch it up and give me a second chance makes me think, what did he do?
Sure.
Like, I think he might have screwed up. Don't cool off while I'm burning. Okay. You've got me crying, dying at your door. Don't shut me out. Open your arms. I need to hold your heart. Oh, girl, I told you. Repeated,
Sure.
So this song uses like a relationship, right? A boy-girl kind of relationship as its main theme, because he says, oh, girl, multiple times, and, the diamond ring, right?
Sure.
But the underlying message is more of just, feels like, holding on and hanging on to the loves that you have in your life.
For some reason, there's something about this that I don't look at it as necessarily a love.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I see that too.
So
okay.
It's a superficial thing. And I could be
that's
wrong.
Why you're probably right, because that's why they're like leaving each other.
That's right. And
it was like
it's very baby. Like, I don't call my wife baby. I have terms that I call her, but if she was going to leave me, I would make it way more personal, right?
Yeah.
It would be like, blah, how are you doing this to me, right?
Yeah.
And you got me crying, dying at your door. Don't shut me out. Open your arms for. So they're like, he's at her house. You know what I mean? And I don't know if that's figuratively or literally.
Sure.
But I'm taking that as she lives with her parents, he lives with his parents, or maybe he has his own little place, and he's knocking on her door.
Sure.
If it was something real serious and they were living together, it
wouldn't be
right.
That wouldn't be where we're going. Yeah.
I do not think that this song has. There shouldn't be so much dissection into this.
But it's still. I mean, that's kind of. And people say that to me a lot,
right.
About whether you should be dissecting the lyrics so much. I mean, I've seen other reaction videos,
It does make for good dialogue between us, right?
Sure it does.
And it does bring out different things in...
That's the point.
Sure.
I mean, I want to...
I redact my last statement.
No, it's fine. It allowed me to say this because I've thought about it, before. Because multiple people tell me, Sometimes, and it's not even like you'll see the difference between a comment that's, given in like a constructive criticism type of way and a comment that's like a trolling comment. A lot of times they're like constructive, but that's why I try to listen to the song first, then do the dissecting part after, because you can leave if you want to.
Did the song chart? I bet you it did.
Yes, I'll bet it did. Yeah, number 3 in the U.S., number 4 in the U.K. So definitely. It says it's off the album The Very Best of the Four Seasons.
1965.
Wow, yeah. Four Seasons produced. Feels newer than that for some reason. I mean, I guess the doo-wop type of thing does sound a little bit older, I guess, but the production's very well done. Anyway, Four Seasons producer Bob Crew. All right, wrote this song with Sandy Lisner and Denny Randall, who were frequent collaborators with the group. The song is a plea for reconciliation, with Frankie Valli trying to convince his girl to stay together. In our interview with Denny Randall, he explained that was the first record that had a certain sound to it. We put some R&B there. We came in with a really interesting horn section that wasn't one of the big things in their repertoire at the time. We put it into a pop R&B bag with the horns and different kinds of background vocals.
And you were saying the nuances.
There's a lot of things going on in the song. And multiple, like I said, sections where there's transitions, which make a song more musically interesting. Lisner and Randall followed up this song by writing the Four Seasons hit Working My Way Back to You, which also uses those types of things that were modeled in Let's Hang On.
So, and just that song, Working My Way Back to You, babe, right? Do you think it might have been a continuation? So you have
Working My Way Back to
right?
You.
So you have a concept album, right? So he's saying, "Babe, please don't leave me. Let's hang on." She eventually leaves. Then they come out with "Working My Way Back to You, Babe." So it's a concept.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know if that's truth or not, but
no. Like when, so that reminds me of when we did Aqualung, and some people were like, "This isn't really a concept album." He specifically said it's not a concept album. There still was some songs still did go to a certain theme.
Right.
So I mean, sure, it is a concept, And you could even put them together if you want.
In 1966, this was reworded as a jingle for Beechnut's Spearmint Gum TV commercial. The Four Seasons sang on the ad, and Frankie Valli was the narrator, explaining how the flavor of the gum hangs on. It was an early use of a hit song being transformed for a commercial.
It marked a big musical departure for the Four Seasons. He didn't use his distinct falsetto.
You were right.
Okay. The group's second tenor. Oh, was there a second singer on the song?
There was definitely multiple singers, background singers.
I mean, not background in the false, where I thought. That's interesting. Okay, this was the sound of the day, along with the big backbeat and horn section. It aped the hit formula from songs like 1, 2, 3 by Len Barry and Rescue Me by Fontella. Is that bass? Or
Bass.
Yeah. All right, bass. Sorry. By adapting to changing musical times, the Four Seasons continued their string of hits alongside stiff competition from the Beatles and other British invasion groups.
Let's Hang On made 3 more chart appearances in the UK. Johnny Johnson and the Bandwagoners took it to number 36 in 1969, and in 1980, the Darts made it to number 11 with their version. In 1981, recording by Barry Manilow made it to number 12 in the UK, and also returned the song to the American charts, where it hit number 32 in April of 1982. Frankie Valli also recorded a new version of the song with the Manhattan Transformers in 1995.
Manhattan Transfer, but yeah.
So that song came out in 65,
and it's
here he remade it in 95. And really quick, punch in. Can you pull up like Frankie Valli if he still performs, or when did he stop performing? I remember seeing him not too many years ago. While he definitely didn't have the same range, and people might say he shouldn't be doing this anymore.
I would say that. I wouldn't. All right, so he's 86 years old, but it does not say that he passed. He did not pass away.
So he's still alive, and he still performs. He's not as good as he was. So years active, 1953 to present. So one of the things I want to say is I'm a sports fan, and a lot of times people say, "Oh, that guy's washed up." but he might be the greatest at what he's done. So you get to see greatness. While it wasn't the greatness that it was in 1965, the mindset that you still get to see Frankie Valli perform on stage when you're not going to be able to be given that opportunity later on when he passes away. Sometimes we take for granted some of the things and try to compare it to something before instead of enjoying it for what it is today. What it is
now. Sure.
So Frankie Valli is one of those guys where when you see him, he might be singing on New Year's Eve somewhere at 86 years old, and you're like, oh, he's lost it.
No.
But this is going to be the last few times that you get to see him, so you're going to dilute your impression of him or the joy that you might get from watching him based on the fact that he didn't sound like he did 50 years ago.
Sure.
So, to me, enjoy it. If you see Frankie Valli on TV, if he still does sing a song, enjoy it. We know that he can't hit the same high notes, but you're watching greatness. And whether it's Frankie Valli or anybody else that might be further towards the end than they are at the beginning, just be mindful that you enjoyed it when they were great, but you could still enjoy the entertainment that they're trying to provide for us today.
Plus, a lot of times, along that line of thought, there are a lot of people who kind of changed, exactly what they were planning on doing, and people get mad at that too. Like what did Ozzy Osbourne recently did a collaboration with a rapper, right?
Post
That's okay. Like they can be allowed to change and evolve their music to fit with the style, just like obviously the Four Seasons did with this song, right? And I don't know, it's interesting to me when people listen to some type of art and then expect the artist to keep making the same art, like they can just like, or Metallica is another very good example of a band that changed many times. They changed, you know.
But it's a little bit different, I think.
Sure,
when somebody has lost that perfectionist. You know what I mean? That perfection, like.
So you saw him and you thought he didn't do as.
I've talked to people that saw him in Vegas in.
Oh, you've talked to people
like early 2000s or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, he's nothing like he used to be," even though he's 68 years old or 70 years old, right? A lot of times we don't appreciate greatness until it's gone. Right.
Sure.
So, and I see that a lot in sports and wherever it might be. And I'm going to get off my soapbox. What I really do want to say though is. Firebird, this reaction Daniel and I wanted to do for you. Again, you are in our thoughts and our prayers. We just want you to know that we're here for you if you need anything.
And thank you for letting us know what we could do. I appreciate you reaching out to me and saying, "Hey, we should do a Four Seasons song because your father enjoyed that." So I hope you enjoyed the video.
Yep.
And thank you everybody else for watching.
Absolutely.
All right. Anything else? Or are we?
I'm good.
All right. I'll see you guys soon. Stay safe out there. Deathstroke 9.
Peace and love.